So I've always tried to take Karl's own words. I don't put words in his mouth. I don't use other people in his Discord channel with far more extreme views on Billy Mitchell. I try not to implicate that it has anything to do with Karl because it doesn't. But these are Karl's own words I'm going to read to you. My total legal costs are well over $600,000, so any money I received went to my lawyers. So the lawyers have been paid $600,000 according to this recent tweet by Karl Jobst. No, I don't, because F the lawyers and what they think. If I want to say something, I will say it. F letting other people tell you what to do. A lawyer will always tell you to say nothing. Who wants to live by that principle? And you can see the Discord members, they all agree. Now, even though you paid a lawyer $600,000, why would we listen to their advice when we're just so much smarter than they are, right? I mean, at this point in time, we just maybe just get a lawyer from Discord. I would love to see the logic spill out in actual court where the judge is just so baffled at what's happening. So this is the full text. I do try to put everything within the rightful context. I am going to talk about Van Buren a little bit, Van Buren 20, and his piece of advice to Karl, which is incredibly sound, and I'm reiterating that piece of advice to Karl. An appeal can cost you far more than anything you can mitigate. The only people who are very happy that you're going to appeal are your lawyers. Your lawyers have charged you, in my opinion, an excessive amount. I'm using that word excessive because it was used by the judge to describe former legal fees that they were charging you. It's actually in a court document, the judge using the word excessive, not once, but at least twice that I could find, when he was trying to figure out how in the world did you spend over $200,000 when Billy Mitchell's attorney was less than $100,000. That is very bizarre, since Billy Mitchell's attorney is Queen's Counsel and a tier above your own attorney. I'm starting to believe that Karl only finds attorneys that listen to him, and those are very bad attorneys. So an attorney who would take Karl as a client today, I would be skeptical as to what their true motive was. Do they love you, Karl? Do they want to help you, Karl? Maybe all that is true. Because if they win the appeal, of course, they will get the accolades, right? But it seems like they just want your money. And I've talked to you about the comments about my own personal case, where the worst lawyer you can hire is a lawyer who believes everything you're saying and does not contest you and will do whatever you want them to do. That's not the lawyer's job. The lawyer's job is to take you from the brink, right? You want to go haywire, they will offer settlement. I have heard rumors, and I've actually asked Billy Mitchell's son this question. And if you have any questions for Billy Mitchell's son, I am in email communication, and he seems open to answering any questions that he can, considering that there is the threat of this being appealed, of course. So within that context, I asked him about Notch, right? This billionaire Minecraft creator. I don't know all that much about him, but perhaps that's the best description, that he's a billionaire Minecraft creator who was paying for Karl's initial legal fees. Why did he leave? Was there any reason he left? Specifically, did he want Karl to settle? Did he know this was about Apollo Legend? I'm sure the lawyers must have told him. Did he pick the initial lawyers for Karl? And did Karl not like the idea of settlement? Whatever happened with Notch, even Billy Mitchell's son may not be 100% clear on. I think that's a story to tell on its own day, because I am asking the right questions about that, and I really want to find out. Because if lawyers, and I understand lawyers, they do not want to go to court. If you do not want to go to verdict, because if you lose, that's on your record forever. I don't see somebody taking this case, knowing it's about Apollo Legend, watching that video, and saying, yep, we can win this, don't worry. I see it more like, let's settle, let's mitigate damage. The fact that so little mitigation was done, Not even a apology was really made, and that was something Billy Mitchell's own lawyer pointed out. Not necessary, but holy shit, it would have mitigated a lot of the damages. I do not know why an apology could not be made. And if he takes you to verdict, that's fine. We apologized. We did everything we could. We made multiple decent settlement offers, right? So you couldn't blame us. We mitigated it. And mitigation is a defense, at least in America, against defamation. So if you accidentally defame somebody and they send you an email saying, hey, you're wrong, what you do as just a human being is you just correct it. And say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Yeah, let me correct this for you. That's, what I think that's hopefully what most people would do in that circumstance. So here, again, we have the lawyers, and holy shit, they're going to get paid. They're going to get people. And I don't know if Karl understands this point as well. Because this seems to be his first lawsuit, his first dance, if you will. Appeals isn't any less expensive than the trial. In fact, because many times the appeals attorney or an attorney specializing in appeals costs more money per hour, the hours can get very intensive, especially if you are the one instructing them on what to do. I'm reminded of I own a marketing business. If you've owned any type of business, I've owned a marketing business, as to say. If you own any type of business in the past, the more that your client wants to do and dictate the thing, the more you have to charge them because he's just going to waste your time. Where there's this really cool thing where it's like, if you do the work, or if I do the work, I'll charge you $100. If we both do the work, I charge you $150. If you do the work while I watch you do the work, I'm going to charge you $200. Because you're just kind of wasting my time, instead of listening to me, the expert, do what would be the $150, or me, the expert, doing the work, I had to sit there and teach you what's going on and make sure you don't break something. The type of attorney that Karl can hire at this point in time, well, let's do two avenues, right? Let's say number one, he keeps his old attorney, the attorney that lost, the attorney that Cat literally said, if he was in that room, he would have, got up from it. Again, he might go to prison for this. And I have no doubt that Cat would have done it. I have no doubt in my mind that guy would have done this. He would have got up, went to Karl's attorney, shook him a little bit. What are we paying you for? Right? That's a level of quality of Karl's attorney where your number one fan, Cat, still his number one fan, probably never going to waver. Ride or die Cat is so mad at your own attorney that you paid $600,000 for, Australian, that he's willing to go to jail, right? At least for a night or two. I mean, it won't be like something serious, but yes, it would be inappropriate for an audience member to assault and then yell that in your lawyer. Like, obviously, that would be crazy if it happened in court and then it was being live streamed, right? But I promise you that is something that would have happened because Cat seems very adamant. It's all cap locks, right? That's the dude that we paid $600,000 for, that at the very end of closing statements, your number one fan, supporter, defender, Cat, is willing to walk over, possibly go to jail for a night or two, and yell, "What are we paying you for?" That's their appeal team. I have and here's the crazy part: appeals is like a day, so you gotta be polished. Like, if Billy Mitchell stays with his lawyer, and let's say his lawyer does appeals based on his resume, it looks like he does appeals. Not only does he do appeals to be Queen's Counsel, you have to be good at it. If we have a rematch, why would Karl think that his lawyer can beat Billy Mitchell's lawyer in appeals when they got decimated in trial? I'm a little baffled here, and what this guy is saying, hey, I think what his conclusion is, any lawyer that you hire is going to tell you, yes, let's do appeals, because then they get money in their pocket, right? Whether or not the money comes from you or Billy Mitchell, they don't really care, to be honest with you. Money is green. The Wire, money is green. Money has no owners. I think that's from The Wire. Somebody quote me if that's wrong. Money has no owners, owe me spenders. The Wire is a really good TV show. Hopefully it's from The Wire, and I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. We're going to keep covering this, especially since Karl has said that he's going to release a video. The previous context of what type of video Karl would be releasing, let me read this to you right now, is in this video, I will allow Billy to explain why he is suing me. I fully allow Billy to explain why he is suing me. Oh, actually, that was a previous video. So, is that the video where it's a news channel saying that like is being sued about cheating, but it was never corrected? Maybe it was that video. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I honestly think even if he wins appeals, the legal costs will be much, much greater. And like I said, at the end of the day, this judge did a good job in my personal opinion, and the decision was 118 pages because it had to be ironclad. Out of all the people here, the judge knows that Karl will come after him, right? He knows it. I mean, that's why he made that analogy of the knight with the lance and the lance breaks against the Billy Mitchell draft. He, of all people, the judge understands from how vindictive, how hateful, how vengeance, right? How wrathful that this individual is, right? In fact, he even says so in the judgment that had he not been like this, he would have probably mitigated the damage. He probably would have asked for less or ruled for less damages on Billy Mitchell. But you know what is coming, right? You know what's coming from Karl Jobst. I don't even need to explain it to you. I hope it's an apology, but I really don't believe it is. I believe these lawyers are... Okay, if you made it this far, the milking comments, right? The milk. It got so bad, I just had to just get rid of that word, keyword milk. Whatever you think I milk Karl Jobst for, I didn't take a dime from him. Ad revenue, whatever, I'll just donate to charity. I'll donate on the next live stream to charity. Okay? I haven't received the money yet, but it's an estimated amount. I am going to figure this out because it's very interesting, not only because of the people involved, but because it is an overall lesson of, in a society where everyone is taught to double down, if you made a mistake, it's okay to say, I made a mistake. It's okay to even apologize for that mistake. That will actually help you in your legal case. Had Karl Jobst made a heartfelt apology or a real apology in any significant way, I fully believe that Karl Jobst would not have to pay half the damages he would have to pay, if not significantly more. He would have to pay significantly less plus interest, because the interest is based on the principal amount. But he chose wrath. He chose anger. And you do not think this judge noticed? Think about this. This judge has been listening to Karl he's been looking at Karl for 7 days. He's been listening about the case from Karl's attorney for 7 days. He's been reading and watching all these videos about Billy Mitchell for 7 days. You do not think this judge is prepared for this? You do not think this judge is going to do all he can to make sure Karl loses on appeal in his ironclad decision? You're crazy here. You are crazy if you don't think this judge was prepared. This judge was absolutely prepared for Karl. And that's something Karl probably doesn't realize, right? This judge he took extra time because he knew Karl would be angry. And now Karl got his lawyers in his ears. I pray for him, Karl, that it's not the same dudes he paid $600,000 to. That performance was utterly poor. And they're just going to, I mean, imagine how much money they're going to charge him now when he's desperate. Right? So they charged him $600,000 when Karl thought he could win. I don't know why he thought he could win on these claims, but he did. Maybe his lawyers told him. I don't know. How in the world, how much money would you charge someone who's just lost and is desperate to save their career on YouTube? How much money do you think you can milk out of that person? That is what Karl's friend is trying to tell him. Will Karl listen? Time will tell. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, maybe we'll do the live stream. Hopefully we get the live stream going. I really did enjoy doing the live stream with you guys, but it's very tiring on my end. It takes a lot out of me. Anyway, bye guys.